Test, test.
Testing. All right, good evening, everyone. All right, so we're just going to, we'll begin in a few minutes, but I just want to introduce myself. My name is Alan Hudson, and I'm principal, proud principal of Glen Cove High School. I am a long time ago graduate, 1991 graduate from this high school, so I've gone full circle. All right, obviously when I was a student here, you know, I had some hair. I'm follically challenged at this point. So I guess you return to when you were born when you had no hair. But I want to say this, I'm really glad to see, because the question really is always, is it only for parents or students as well? So I'm really happy to see a lot of, how many students are here? Raise them high, come on, we're gonna shout you out, thank you. All right, very good, all right? All right, because this is about you. Yes, your parents are here, all right, but we want to present a lot of this information to you as well as your parents so you're fully ready for high school and know what the expectation is. All right, so today we have a great event for you. We have our phenomenal administrators here who are going to give you a lot of information. There's no need to take notes, all right, because it is an abundance of information. This information will be shared with you repeatedly. Again, if you think about it this way, we're in January, all right, so there's several months before, you know, your child will be here at Glen Cove High School, all right? If you did not, and no need to pick it up now, but if you didn't, when the program's over, you can pick up one of the forms there. It's just kind of lists a lot of the resources that we have here in Glen Cove High School. If you just scan the QR code, all right, it'll kind of take you directly to certain things on our website, just so you're well informed. All right, so how many of you parents, this is your first child to be in Glen Cove High School? Okay, all right. So what I'm going to tell you is this. We conduct business here as a family. We will take care of your child, all right? They're going off to the high school, all right, but we have a great team here. We have great teachers. We have great administrators here. We will take great care of them. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We will answer them and get back to you really quickly, all right? So we're going to quickly go into here. I'm just going to quickly introduce, just so you can put a name with a face, because once you go on the website, you're going to want to know, well, who is this individual who was speaking in regards to whatever department. So I'm going to introduce, we have Miss Padilla, Herenia Padilla. All right, she is our assistant principal. Christian Dotton is, actually he's our dean of student, but he was not able to make it today. but your child will be in contact with him as well. Allison Hernandez is not here at this point, but we do have Courtney Farrell, who's the Assistant Director of Special Education. Ashley Giraldi, our Director of World Language and ENL. Lawrence Nadell, Coordinator of Fine Arts and Performing Arts. Susan Poulos, our Social Studies Coordinator. Kimberly Rizzo, our Athletic Director for Phys Ed and Athletics. Kristen Schaefer, our ELA Coordinator. Anthony Allison, I believe, is on his way. And last but not least, we have Victoria Curtis, who is our Director of Science for the Glen Cove School District. So again, we are going to give you a lot of information. Feel free, you don't have to take notes. All right, you're going to get a lot of information before your child is here. All right, so I'm just going to quickly go through this. Again, this was my journey here to Glen Cove High School. I went to Conley School. All right, actually, we didn't graduate, but attended Conley School. Went to Robert M. Finley Middle School. Obviously attended Glen Cove High School. Graduated a long time ago. Ended up going to IS 59 as a social studies and English teacher. All right, and from there went on to become a dean at Walt Whitman High School in South Huntington. And last but not least, I was a dean at Baldwin High School. True story, I'm sitting in the Baldwin High School dean's office. I get a call from Rose Sikelski. No, actually it was Francine Santoro. So for those who know her, she used to be the principal at Gribben School. She said, listen, we have a position here as an assistant principal. We'd like for you to interview. And I said, absolutely. So the dream has always been to come back to Glen Cove High School. I've gone full circle to come back and give back to the community. All right, so this is our formula of what I talked about family. And one of the things we want to talk about here is we want your children to be successful. Our students are involved in a lot. For those who have children here, and even former students who've returned, all right, we're really big on community service, quality instruction, student and staff decorum, and we have a lot of school spirit. So I think pictures speak volumes, so you're going to see a lot of pictures of things that we've done here at Glen Cove High School as you watch. All right, so basically our goal here is to make sure that your child is successful. Not only that they graduate, that's the minimum requirement. We want them to be able to graduate and be successful in life. All right, we kind of call Glen Cove High School, we call it the bubble. All right, so the bubble is here to protect you. It's here to protect your child, encourage them, motivate them so that they're successful. All right, the bubble is also here to protect them, sometimes teenagers, from themselves, because sometimes teenagers make some poor choices, but the bubble is here to protect them so that when they get outside of the bubble, that they're ready to be successful, okay? One of the things we always stress is representing ourselves in a positive manner. We're always trying to be positive, all right, with our students. We want the best for them, and one of the things we always talk about is them striving for excellence. We don't like the word good, all right? The word great is better, all right? So we want them to strive for excellence. All right? So transitioning to high school, what are the next steps? As I spoke about, is some of you have some anxiety about, oh, my child now is leaving the middle school and they're going into the high school. We're here, we're gonna give you a lot of information to kind of ease that anxiety, all right? So I'm gonna quickly go through this. So right now, your eighth grade, you've already had your eighth grade meetings, right? You've met with the guidance counselors. They are now preparing your courses for high school, believe it or not. All right, and we'll start the scheduling process in about a month. We have some great events before then. We have our barbecue, which is really always well attended. We actually serve food, hot dogs, hamburgers. It's well attended, but it's a great way for students to now come here, get an opportunity to kind of walk around the school and just kind of get acclimated as to what the high school looks like. It also gives them an opportunity, and we'll talk about this later, we have digital lockers. So it's different from the middle school. super cool. I like it. At first, I thought it was kind of weird because students can use any locker, all right, but it's assigned to your ID card. But we found the kids actually use their lockers more now because we have this. But again, even during that, students will be able to learn exactly how to use the digital lockers. Fast forward to 9th grade, you'll begin to meet with your school counselors. Again, you'll be meeting with the school counselors, you'll have team meetings, and we'll have grade level assemblies. Now again, we promote a lot of positivity. All right, here, we want students to be excellent, so the first week of school, you will actually be here, we'll have an assembly in here just to kind of reiterate this to your child again, all right? Okay, so graduation requirements. And you're gonna hear a lot of this also from the coordinator, so I'll kind of go through this pretty quickly. All right, the difference between middle school and high school. Does anyone know? One of the differences. Okay, so middle school, you are able to obtain a certain amount of credits. But high school, you have to earn 22 credits to graduate. That's the magic number. All right, we'll talk about some different things that are coming down the pike from the state as far as graduation requirement, but the key number is 22, and I'm really talking to the students, all right? You want to make sure that you obtain 22 credits in this manner. So quickly, 4 credits in English, 4 credits in social studies, 3 credits in science, 3 in math, physical education, you need 2 credits, visual arts, 1 credit, but again, we will reiterate this to you repeatedly throughout their 4 years here at the high school. So again, no need to memorize it. Changes. So, I'm gonna say this as an educator, I love the fact that now there are some proposed changes for, how many of you, I don't wanna, okay, so I'll start with myself. So when I was in high school, we had different tracks, pathways to graduate. We had either a Regents way in which to graduate, where you took the Regents exam, but you didn't necessarily have to take a Regents exam in order to graduate, right? So kind of simply to put it, because it's a lot of information, we're moving back towards now students will have different pathways to graduate from high school, all right? So your child is here in this cohort where it says cohorts 2024 to 2026. This is the current 9th graders now. So what they need to do is this. You still need to acquire more than 22 credits, but the difference right now is coming into their 9th grade year, you want to make sure you're passing every single Regents that you're taking and just continue with your coursework. What's going to happen in 10th grade is now when this goes into effect, there's going to be a possibility of now different pathways to graduating. Everyone follow me? Anyone have any questions yet? Go ahead, I know it.
So you're saying there's a possibility, but is it definitive that
So right now, yes, so right now it's proposed, but right now the state, this is the direction we're moving. All right, so let's say, for example, your child now, 10th grade, a lot of the instruction could be, or their path to graduate could be based on a lot on their interests. So they still have to take the Regents exams, but possibly it won't be a requirement to graduate.
the Regents won't be?
Now, right, so certain students who opt to do that, that's their pathway to graduate, but there'll be other students who may not opt to do that, and this is a different way in which they can graduate, okay? It's a lot of information, so, all right, so New York State is removing the requirement for students to pass the Regents exams to graduate. Regents exams will still exist. So what happens is you'll see in Newsday, they always put this caption, and the belief really is kind of like they're gonna do away with Regents exams. They're not going to do away with Regents exams. What they're saying is that a child not passing a Regents exam might not be the factor as to why they won't graduate, okay? So again, multiple ways to show proficiency in classes. And again, think about it, even us as adults. Some of us are great test takers, right? Some of us are not great test takers. We're creative. We do better on projects, performances, and things of that nature. So what's going to happen is students will now have different pathways to graduate from high school, all right? Because what's happening, and I'll tell you personally here, not last year, but the year before, we had students who ended up not passing a Regents exam by 1 point. Now, you need 22 credits to graduate. These students, Ms. Padilla, right, had probably over 26 to 27 credits. But for whatever reason, they couldn't pass one Regents by 1 point. So this is what now kind of has sparked this conversation of trying to get more students to graduate, okay? So just an illustration, really kind of showing that there's one student here on the left. If you can see, this student here was successfully completed a locally developed capstone project, successfully completed an English composition course, whereas the student on the right successfully completed the digital media communications CTA program, passed the English Regents, completed a summer internship for the community newspaper. So it'll be a lot more individualized pathways for each student, all right, as to how they will graduate. Any questions? All right, you will have questions, all right, because it is really different. It's totally different from the traditional way in which kids have graduated for years. All right, so we're big on communication, all right? What we want you to do is just continue what you're doing at the middle school. Make sure, register for Parent Square, because that's where a lot of those information, myself, the other coordinators, we send a ton of information out through there, different recommendations, different events that we're having here at the high school. And here, if you see this here, if you did not, all right, this is, we call it Know Your Glen Cove High School Resources. So to kind of lessen the anxiety, take this form home, you can scan the QR code, it'll give you some information, it'll take you directly to certain parts of our website so that you can be familiar with things that we're doing here at the high school, okay? All right, so at this point I want to introduce the coordinators, the directors will come up and they're going to talk to you specifically about their subject matter, what their departments offer. At the very end of the presentation, if you have any questions, feel free to stay behind and we will answer your questions. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce Ms. Rizzo, who's going to present phys ed, physical education and health.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson. Good evening, everybody. It's so nice to see such a large crowd. So I'm the Director of Health, Physical Education, and Athletics here in the district. Physical education, to start with that, do you want to give me the clicker or do you want to do it? Sorry. It's required 9 through 12, and based off of the graduation requirements and the credits needed, phys ed is taken typically every other day for the full year. Different types of courses that we offer in phys ed is general PE, which is basically team sports, probably something similar to what the students here are doing in middle school. We also offer personal wellness, which is a fairly new class. That's less of team sports. It's more of meditation, yoga, Pilates. That is a class that's taught by Miss Kessel. Some of you may know her. We also have, recently we redid our weight room within, I want to say, the last 2 years or so. We offer strength and conditioning in there, which is a phys ed class, same thing, meets every other day for the full year. And what you're doing in there is you're basically learning about muscular strength, muscular endurance, and we'll go into that further. And then there's also personal training and fitness concepts, which is more of like a career-based type of course for students that are interested in possibly getting into personal training for a career or job down the road. So personal wellness, like I stated briefly, these are all of the different activities that are done in there, and the class is fairly new, like I said, but it is growing. And the teacher that teaches it is phenomenal, and she's always open to ideas and students from her. So just basically, meditation and gratitude is something that we've done more recently. Strength and conditioning focuses on the 5 components of health. Muscular strength, muscular endurance, it's skill related. You work on, if you've seen like the ladders, where you run through the ladders, different types of agility work. This phys ed class is geared more towards our athletes. It's open to everybody and anybody that wants to take it. Our athletes tend to gravitate more towards this class because it helps them with their performance in their interscholastic sports. And personal training and fitness concepts, like I stated, this gets more into the anatomy and physiology of the body, different muscles, imbalance when you're exercising and working out, what you should be doing. And both of the classes are taught in the weight room, personal training and fitness concepts and strength and conditioning. So you're also learning how to use the equipment appropriately, the right weight load that you should be using, which is great because it's teaching you how to work out. So even after school, even if you don't want to pursue a career in this, if you wanted to use this in your life after high school, you'll have basic knowledge of how to use these machines in a gym. I always remember when I was younger and I would go to a gym, you walk in, you see all these machines, you see all these people working out, and it was always intimidating to me. So this is kind of a nice way to bridge the gap. Health education. It's basic health. You guys have probably all somewhat had health in middle school. And these are just some of the topics that we go over. I don't have to read through them, but health is also offered either full year every other day, or it could be every day for a semester. And then going into our athletics, our interscholastic sports, Nassau County hasn't come out with the set dates, but it's anticipated that fall sports, and this is important for you guys because it's different in middle school and in the high school. High school fall sports, so if you play any of the sports listed all the way to the left, varsity, any cheerleading, cross country, football, soccer, girls and boys, tennis, golf, combined swim is for girls in the fall. It will start before school starts, so just take note of that. Football starts 2 weeks typically before school starts, and I think that date falls on or around August 18th, and the remaining sports listed will start a week later, and I believe that date is August 25th. We will definitely put out lots of notifications in regards to that. And then you could see also the winter and spring sports that are available. With sports, I know I see some familiar faces of parents that have older students. This year we launched a digital platform called Final Forms for signing up your athletes. So just be aware of that, and if you are gonna sign up, we will send out reminders on Parent Square, and you can always reach out to me if you have any questions. But even for middle school, you are probably familiar with it because you had to do it if your child plays a sport in middle school as well. And you can upload all of your paperwork there, so it kind of takes out the, handing papers and medical documentation back and forth. And thank you very much. Again, my name is Kim Rizzo. If anything comes up, I know this was a lot of information. If anything comes up, feel free to send me an email if you go home and think about anything and anything pops into your head. So it's great seeing all of you, and I wish all of our incoming 9th graders a wonderful year. And my office is right down by the gym, so if you have any questions, you could always feel free to stop in. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Lawrence Nadelfine, Arts Coordinator.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Nice to see many familiar faces, especially those of you who I saw a few weeks ago at the winter concert of Findlay. Very nice to see you again. I'm about to speak about the Fine and Performing Arts Department and all the wonderful opportunities that we provide our students in visual art, music, theater, dance, and media television. First off, Our school district is lucky enough to be able to offer what's called the IAAP, which is the Individual Arts Assessment Pathway. Students of Glen Cove High School, we're one of the very, very, very few districts on Long Island that offers an arts diploma from New York State. Students can graduate from Glen Cove High School with an arts assessment pathway, which leads to a specialty diploma in fine and performing arts. Students who are in this particular program take many courses in fine and performing arts over the course of their 4 years, and they also have to create a portfolio of works instead of sitting for a Regents examination for that advanced designation. That program, the enrollment forms go out in December. So look out for that around December. Definitely after Thanksgiving. We put it on the website. Students are given the forms by arts teachers, and students can enroll in a 2-week window. Once the 2-week window closes, students are no longer eligible to enter the program. It's a very prestigious program, and it has to begin in that 2-week time frame. In music, we offer the following sorts of areas. We offer both performance ensembles and theory-based courses. Performance ensembles, if you are now in chorus 7 and 8, you would most likely move on to what's called mixed chorus. That's what's available to 9th graders. So if you're currently with Miss Sack in 7 and 8 chorus, we would suggest that you would move into mixed chorus. If for some reason you are not in chorus in middle school, or if you're not in chorus in middle school but would like to continue vocal studies, you can enroll also in mixed chorus as well. Select chorale is for our advanced by audition only students for vocal. Concert band is the first stop for students who are currently in 7 and 8 band with Mr. Schmidt. You would then move up to concert band. Those students who audition for wind ensemble, that's an advanced designation and an advanced audition-based course. Jazz ensemble is also an audition-only course. Our jazz band meets once every week on Tuesdays for about 2 hours and after school. It's considered a after-school course. Students who are enrolled in IAAP must take what's called Music Theory 1 and also AP Music Theory in order to get advanced designation in music if that's the discipline they're choosing. If students are currently in Orchestra 7-8 with Mr. Lippy, they would move on to orchestra at the high school at the 9th grade level. We also offer 2 elective courses that students can take called Music in the Digital Age, which is a music technology course, as well as guitar technique and performance. We urge students to wait till their sophomore year to take it, but it is available. Ms. Curtis, there you go, see? Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, very nice. Okay, visual arts. In the visual art category, there are multiple pathways. Very nice. Let's go back to that. So in visual arts, there are many different mediums that our visual artists explore, such as photography, ceramics, drawing and painting, fashion design and illustration, as well as media art. Students who are enrolled in the IAAP sequence who want to go for an arts diploma in visual art are required to take visual art every single year that they're enrolled in the high school. And these are the different mediums we offer for these courses. In television, we have an expanding television and moving image program here at Glen Cove High School. If you've never been upstairs in the studio, we have a professional television studio here at the high school, and many, many students love the program. Students who are interested in TV production could take TV production 1 to start, and they would move on to 2, 3, and 4 later on. We also offer broadcasting, digital filmmaking, and 2 new courses called Advanced Editing and Podcasting, or Podcast Cove, which is a new course as well, and students are eligible to take that. If you're an incoming 9th grader, which all of you would be, TVM 1 and 2 would probably be your first stop, but you can, you would be able to take podcasting if that's something you're interested in. In theater arts, in the theater program, we offer Foundations in Acting and Directing, which is a regular acting and directing course. You learn basic skills of acting and directing. Technical theater and design for those students who work behind the scenes to learn set, costume, lighting, sound, and prop making and design, as well as playwriting and advanced musical theater, where students write a musical and actually produce and perform a musical for the local elementary K-2 schools in the neighborhood. We also offer what's called Theatrical Production Laboratory. Students receive credit, academic credit, for productions that they work on. Students have to put in at least 60 hours in their on their productions, and they also have to write a reflective paper at the end of the production to show what they've learned throughout the process. So students get credit for that. And our last stop is dance. We offer 4 courses in dance. We offer Foundations in Dance, which is a basic introduction to dance class. It's the introduction survey kind of course where you learn jazz, ballet, hip hop, and contemporary. Theater movement and dance is another course where students learn appropriate movement for actors and performers. In that course, they also offer information on how to tap dance as well for the stage. Dance choreography is where students choreograph their own dances and routines and perform them for showcases. And we also offer hip hop as well, which is a semester-based class. And one thing I just want to share with you before I turn it over is that for all of our disciplines, visual art, music, theater, dance, and television, most of our courses for juniors and seniors are dual enrollment courses, especially now that they're aligned with IAP. Students can earn college credits through Five Towns College. Students pay $50 for 2 to 3 college credits. Which is an amazing price. And students, if they pass with a C or higher in those courses, they are able to receive the transcript from the college, and those courses credits are usually transferable if they don't go to Five Towns. So that option is there too. So just wanted to make sure you knew that. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Kristen Schaefer, the English Language Arts District Coordinator.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nadel. So for the English department, I'm here to present our pathways. Students are required to take 4 years of English. That is one of the core courses. That's part of the graduation requirements that Mr. Hudson referenced earlier. In addition, as of right now, students are required to pass the English Regents exam, and we expect to see that as still an option for the new pathways that the state is still working on designing. So in our department, we have a range of levels of English depending on where students' needs are and how they want to challenge themselves. For those students who need English language support, we have a series of ENL English courses. For those students who are interested in challenging themselves at the honors and AP level, we have honors classes in 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. And then our 12th grade honors is a dual enrollment class with LIU, which offers the opportunity for 6 college credits, 3 in the fall and 3 in the spring. And then we also have AP courses. So you can take AP Seminar in the 10th grade and AP Research in 11, that composes the capstone program. And then we have AP Literature and Composition, or AP Language and Composition. So those courses are for 11th and 12th graders. So we recommend that students who are interested in pursuing AP courses think about enrolling in one of our honors courses to get used to the pace and rigor and depth of the course that they would entail as they approach their sophomore, junior, and senior year. And then for students who are just looking to maintain their regular English study, we have the Regents level courses. And then in the 12th grade, students have an option to take electives or an English 12 course, which is more of your traditional survey course. So some of our electives span the range from more intense reading courses to more writing courses. So for example, creative writing, a semester-based course, which most of our electives are, allows students the opportunity to explore writing throughout different types of genres with various prompts and supports. We offer a essay writing course for seniors, which not only prepares them for college to submit their application essay, but also for different scholarship essays. And then we have 2 new courses this year that I want to highlight, Beyond Borders, which will be a semester-based course looking into writers from across the Hispanic cultures, and Scripted Journeys, which really looks at the writing place of writing plays, and students will write their own one-act play. So a variety of courses. What I wanted to mention too is that on this slide, and the slideshow I believe will be posted after the presentation, we have a QR code which will take you to our department-specific courses and some videos from students who have taken electives in the past. And so if you click on the images in the slideshow there, you can see students who have taken some of these electives, and they speak about why you would want to take, for example, the creative writing or children's literature class, and also for our honors classes as well. So as I mentioned, we have a number of AP offerings. The AP Capstone program is a very prestigious program that we are very lucky to have here in Glen Cove. We're one of the first districts on Long Island to introduce this program almost 10 years ago. This is for students who are really interested in research, for learning how to conduct a humanities type experiment. So not so much in the science lab, but more of like the social sciences, if you're looking at why there is an impact of, let's say, social media on teens' sleep habits. So students really decide and look at a topic that they're interested in. They read research at the college level in many cases with supports and scaffoldings. And then in the AP research, they actually design like a survey or other methods to gather their information. They present this to a panel. And then students who do well can receive a certificate from the College Board. And you may have seen at last week's board meeting, we honored a number of our scholars who received certificates in AP Capstone, a prestigious award from the College Board. We also have the AP Language course and the AP Literature course. AP Language focuses more on nonfiction and the way authors use language in writing and make arguments. Literature is your more traditional reading different works across various historical time periods and engaging in literary analysis. And then as I mentioned earlier, we have a number of dual enrollment courses. College English 11 Honors, the second half of the year, allows for 3 LIU credits. And then our 12th grade college literature and composition is 6. And then one of our electives, college film appreciation and criticism. The other thing I'd like to mention is that we have a very active National English Honor Society that works very tirelessly to spread book love in our community. Perhaps you attended our community book fair in December, or you have seen our newly installed Little Free Library at Morgan's Park. So there are other opportunities, and I see some of our former members in the audience who helped make that dream a reality, some graduates from last year. So we're very excited for those opportunities, and if you're a student or you as a student are interested in that, we welcome you to join NEHS. At this point, I'd like to introduce Mr. Anthony Allison, Coordinator of Mathematics, who will speak to you about our mathematics programming.
Thank you very much, Ms. Schaefer. So I just wanted to say welcome, everyone. What you will see and what you are hearing from the different coordinators is that we're not just concerned about meeting the state requirements, but giving our students an ability to be successful beyond graduation. One of the things that I love specifically about Glen Cove High School is we're not concerned only with the 4 years that your child will be with us, but we're more concerned about when they leave these doors, are they prepared to navigate society? So what you will see in our course offerings in every department is not only just the state-required courses, but you'll see a number of courses that offer them college credit so they can get a jump start at a very nominal fee for them to jump into college. What you will also see is oftentimes some students leave high school and are prepared to enter the work environment. The coursework that they do, no matter what department they're in, give them the ability to be successful. So we have, similar to my colleagues, courses that are Regents level courses, courses that are honors courses, and courses that are AP or dual enrollment college courses. So when a student comes in from the 8th grade, there are really two types of students that we're working with. Those students that have already taken the algebra in 8th grade and where they will go and how they will track through the next 4 years here in the high school. And then we have our traditional students who are in their math 8th grade or regular math 8 and where they will navigate through. All our courses for the Regents level courses are all courses that that do include a lab. So they will have a full period and a half every other day to help support them be successful. Similar, as Ms. Schaefer said, is right now the math algebra Regents is required, but we know as we are looking at the Blue Ribbon Commission's report, there are going to be other pathways for them. And those pathways don't necessarily mean they'll have to take a Regents, but they'll show their proficiency in either projects or project-based learning. Some of the other things that we offer, and beyond just the regular Regents courses, because they are required to take 3 units of math or 3 credits of math, but our recommendation is always that a child takes all 4 years of math, whether it's a traditional math or one of our elective math courses. And in our elective math courses, it's not just traditional number adding, it's computer science courses. As we have seen and we've heard on the news, some of the biggest growth in industries are those jobs that have to do everything or have anything and everything to do about working in the world of technology. So we're offering courses that give them skills in language, computer language, also language programming, and the ability to work within the cyber world. In terms of our AP course offerings, we offer everything from AP Statistics to AP Principles, which is a computer science course, and next year we're going to be offering AP Computer Science A, which is the 2nd level of our computer science advanced placement program. Additionally, we also offer your traditional path of if they would like to accelerate and go into our AP Calculus AB program and our also Calculus BC. They are 2 separate tracks, so a child does not need to take Calc AB to go into Calc BC. They can take 2 different paths depending on their level of skill, depending on their level of comfort. One of the other things that I love to note is with our dual enrollment courses, which are through LIU, a child will be able to, or student, excuse me, will be able to take up to 8 credits. 4 credits for the first semester and an additional 4 credits for the second semester. So the question always gets to be, well, if they don't go to LIU, do they get those credits? 90% of the time, they do get those credits. It might not count as a specific math credit, but it may go in as an elective credit, depending on the college to which they decide to attend. And that's pretty much math as a whole. We're pretty direct. Math is very formulaic. It's very direct. This is the pathway. It is my pleasure and honor to introduce Ms. Curtis, our science coordinator.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Ms. Curtis and I am the coordinator of science. So I'm going to be speaking with you about our science pathways. It's so nice to see some friendly faces in the audience because I also teach a section of 8th grade science. So if I look familiar, you've probably seen me in the hallways. So to echo what Mr. Allison shared with the math department, science as well, you need 3 credits of science in order to graduate. However, we have a lot of science options, so most of the time students take way more than the 3 credits of science that are required, and some of you have already begun that journey in 8th grade by taking living environment. So in this pathway, if you're a student in the audience, I want you to find where you're currently falling in this pathway. At the top, you'll see grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, 10, 11, and 12. So hopefully you're finding yourself in grade 8, and then you're seeing, are you taking 8th grade science, or are you taking Regents Living Environment, which you may notice is now named biology because that's rolling out next year. That's across the board, New York State. So just a change in standards, a change in the name, a change in the exam as well. So if anyone wants more information, just let me know, or it's on the New York State website for that. But yeah, so you're currently in 8th grade. You're either taking 8th grade science or living environment. So next year, those of you who are currently in the living environment will move into earth science. So there are a few different options for earth science. I know your guidance counselors have already started talking to you about that. And then 8th grade, you're moving into that biology next year. So that'll start you on that 3-credit journey at high school. We have a ton of different options in terms of APs, electives, LIU dual enrollment courses for you to choose from at the high school, as well as some after-school activities. We have the Science National Honor Society. We have a pre-med society. We also have an amazing partnership with Northwell Glen Cove Hospital, where our students actually over the summer go and volunteer there, which is very exciting. So we have a lot of great science opportunities for you all once you get to the high school. So similar to math, we've got our pathways. You'll do the living environment / biology, then you'll move into earth science, then chemistry, then physics. But in addition to that pathway, we also offer a ton of electives, and I'm sure you'll find one that interests you. Here are a few of them. We've got astronomy, chemical explorations, conceptual physics, environmental science. We've got forensics, anatomy, mechatronics, marine biology, science research, which is a really great class. If you're interested in science, I highly encourage you to enroll in that class. It meets every other day. They do real hands-on research, and they enter into research competitions at the end of the year. We also have AP courses, AP biology, chemistry, environmental science, physics, psychology. We have college-level courses, and we actually have a new course next year. It's called horticulture and hydroponics. So we're constantly evolving our electives. We're adding new ones based on students' interest. So we're very excited to have you joining us at the high school. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Again, my name is Victoria Curtis. I'm the science coordinator, and I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Poulos, the social studies coordinator.
Good evening. Welcome to the high school. I know that you're probably so excited to be here tonight, and I am so excited for you. This is going to be a great experience, and you're learning so much tonight, but you're very lucky because social study is pretty straightforward, and I'm going to focus in on 9th grade and the requirements. So just generally and very quickly, you need 4 credits of social studies in order to graduate and get your diploma. In 9th grade, you will begin with the Global History 1 course, and you can either take Global History 1, the honors course, Global History 1, or AP Human Geography, depending on how much you want to challenge yourself. Those are the 3 pathways that we have. In your sophomore year, you will have that same 3-track program, Global History 2, which ends in the Global History Regents exam. And then 11th grade, you take US History. That has another Regents exam as of right now. And then in your final year, you have to take Participation in Government and Economics. Those are the 4 years of social studies that are required. In that upper right-hand corner, I have the Seal of Civic Readiness, which will be an option. If you are unable to pass both Regents exam, you can apply for the Seal of Civic Readiness, and then you are exempt from one of those Regents as a pathway. I will speak more to you about that on the next slide when we talk about our electives. So we have an abundance of electives in social studies that really focus on citizenship and helping you to earn that Seal of Civic Readiness. The 3 that I'm going to focus in on tonight are the 3 that you are able to take as a freshman. So we begin with Sports in American History, which examines how sports have shaped and reflected key moments in US history. From Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier in baseball to the role of the 1980 Miracle on Ice in boasting national pride during the Cold War, students will explore the connections between sports and issues like race, gender, economics, and politics. It's an awesome course. Agents of Change, Youth and Activism in American History is the second course that you can take as a freshman. It explores how young people have shaped significant moments in U.S. history through activism and leadership, from the Birmingham Children's Crusade during the Civil Rights Movement to student-led climate change protests. This course highlights the power of youth. Then finally, a very loved course, Trial and Debate, introduces students to the art of public speaking and the judicial process, including arrest trials and courtroom procedures. For those of you that are interested into pursuing law, this is definitely a great course to take. And throughout the year, you will go on several trips to different courthouses and be involved in the law process. Those are the 3 electives that you have as options, which also help you to attain the seal of civic readiness. At this time, I'd like to introduce Ms. Ashley Giraldi, Coordinator of World Languages and ENO.
Thank you, Ms. Poulos. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. So I'm Ashley Giraldi, Coordinator of World Languages and English as a New Language for the district. I want to talk to you a little bit about our course options in high school, as well as the opportunity as a senior to apply and be accepted in the New York State Seal of Biliteracy. So from 8th grade, your child has either taken Italian 1 or Spanish 1. That would mean for 9th grade pathways, you are eligible to take Spanish 2 or Italian 2, or if you are a native speaker of the Spanish language, you can enter into Spanish Native Language Arts, and then you could see the progression. So Spanish, we offer 1, 2, 3, 4 honors, and then you could go into AP Spanish Language or AP Spanish Literature. Spanish Native Language Arts, 1, 2, and then again your AP options after level 2. Italian, we are offering Italian 1 for the 3rd year in a row. And I want to explain what that can mean if you are a student taking Spanish in 8th grade. You can also enroll in Italian 1 in addition to studying Spanish, so you can become trilingual. I highly recommend it. Please do that, always and forever. Thank you. So you can enroll in Italian 1 if you are already on the path studying Spanish. So just please know that. We love to see our students taking risks and wanting to spread communication. Italian 2, 3, 4 honors, and SUPA, which is through Syracuse University, offering college credits as well. Like I said earlier, as a senior, we offer the New York State Seal of Biliteracy. Seniors apply in the fall. They have to meet certain academic requirements to demonstrate their proficiency in the English language and a second language. So for example, we offer Spanish and Italian at the high school. We have many students who are candidates for the New York State Seal of Biliteracy in Spanish and Italian. However, we do have students that speak Bengali at home, that speak Polish at home, that know German from relatives and have studied there, etc. Those students are also still eligible for the New York State Seal of Biliteracy. So that's the key, the biliteracy. They just have to show proficiency in English and a second language, and they should really be rewarded and acknowledged for their biliteracy proficiency throughout their academic career. It does go on your transcript, and it is an honor from New York State. Again, my name is Ashley Giraldi. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. It is my pleasure to introduce our Assistant Director for Special Education, Ms. Courtney Farrell.
Good evening. I'm Courtney Farrell, Assistant Director of Special Education, predominantly at the secondary level. What I'd like to talk to you about is how proud we are to offer a continuum of services for our special education students. We have everything from related services, including occupational therapy, speech and language therapy, physical therapy. We have resource rooms, which consist of no more than 5 students. We go over goals specific on students' IEP, and we have their study skills and meeting any academic needs in that small setting. We also have, these programs are also very similar to what we offer at Findlay Middle School, so if you know of them, they're very similarly run at the high school. We have integrated co-teaching. That includes 2 teachers, one general education teacher and one special education teacher, where they work collaboratively and co-plan, and they run their class both for the special education students in the classroom and the general education students in one unified group. We have special class programs where these are more scaffolded and modified to meet students' needs in a smaller setting, perhaps a 15-student room with a teacher, and we also have a life skills program for those students who will be working more towards vocational skills and working towards being job and career ready. We also offer declassification support services, which include accommodations for those students who no longer require daily programs, but do require those accommodations perhaps on tests or in the classroom. I also wanted to note all of these services, if you haven't had your annual review meeting, they will be determined at your CSE meeting this year, and any questions, you can always call our office and go over all of that. We also offer Parent University, which is not exclusive to special education students and families. It's open to any family or parent in the district. We will be covering understanding your child's IEP next week, actually at the Findlay Middle School Library next Thursday. And yes, we're only coming into the high school next year, but we, as Mr. Allison had noted, are always thinking about the future. So this April, we'll be talking about post-secondary transition and support for all students and making sure that we're really meeting students' needs, not only here at the high school when they're with us, but as they graduate as well. Any questions? Again, I'm Courtney Farrell. I do want to let those of you know, if you don't know, we've moved out of the Carriage House here. Our special education offices are now located between the Findlay Middle School and the Daisy Middle School, the Daisy Elementary School, excuse me. But the entrance is at the middle school. And we're here to support you, whether you're a special education student or not. Our offices are open, so please don't hesitate to ask any questions. I have the pleasure of reintroducing Ms. Herenia Padilla, Assistant Principal of Glen Cove High School.
Good evening and welcome. Bienvenidos. Buenas noches. I'm so happy to see all of you. I'm so excited to welcome you into our family. Bienvenidos a todos. Es muy contenta de verlos y darle la bienvenida a nuestra escuela. For the families at home, hope that you're having a good time and enjoying your time nice and cool and probably having a hot chocolate right now while you're listening to this wonderful administrator sharing the information. So I hope that the students in the audience are getting excited. You're not feeling as nervous anymore because you have so many wonderful things taking place at the high school, so many opportunities, offerings for you. And I see some former students back here. Good to see you. And a couple of familiar faces. So, in the business department, it's a lot of fun things going on here for those of you who are maybe curious about the business field, or perhaps you already know you're an entrepreneur. I know that a few students have been creating t-shirts and all these different things. They have their little sites set up, so you might want to continue to explore that at the high school. For those of you who are interested, we have Introduction to Business, Personal Finance, a very important course, as we all know as adults. Entertainment and sports marketing, that's really interesting for a lot of the students. A lot of people might think that's for the boys who are interested in sports. We have a lot of young ladies who are participating and doing really well in the course as well, so think about it. In the upper levels, we have the college accounting and business e-commerce, which includes a lot of fun trips, different competitions, and different opportunities for you to travel, to see. Our students have been doing really well in the competitions and have actually been traveling to different parts of the country with what they were able to accomplish here. We also have Marketing DECA, which is very, very popular. It has increased. All of our courses in the business department have grown tremendously. Those of you who are interested in DECA, it is an after-school club, but you do have the opportunity to get credit. We have the DECA shop, which has been phenomenal with Mr. McKinnon. I think a few of you have had the course and have had the opportunity to meet Mr. McKinnon or Mr. Simon at middle school. There are also DECA competitions, and our numbers have grown tremendously. We have had a large group of students participating in different competitions and doing really well. So I welcome you all. I look forward to meeting you and working with all of you. And this is for our Spanish-speaking families. Desafortunadamente, no tenemos la oportunidad de traducir toda la información, pero estoy aquí, soy la señora Padilla, soy una de las subdirectoras. Si alguien tiene una pregunta, puede hacérmela o llamarme, puede hablarme después de esta presentación o contactarme durante el año. So, if anybody needs more information, I'm happy to help you. And bienvenidos and welcome to our GCHS family. And I'm going to give it over to Mr. Hudson, who has a few more slides. Hang in there. I thought about giving you a quiz, but I don't know about that. What do you think? What about our students? What do you think? Oh, I see. Oh, Mr. Leibowitz, what is that? I see a little thumbs, but how are we doing so far? We're good? Everybody's good and feeling much, much better and excited about what's going to happen next year? All right. Here you go, Mr. Hudson. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Padilla. So, like I said, I started in the beginning, it's a lot of information. So I purposely sat back here and kind of watched some of the body language from some of the parents and some of the students. We totally understand, all right? You have been given a crash course of everything that we are trying to offer and offering right here at Glen Cove High School. So at this point, feel free to feel overwhelmed, all right? But again, we are, throughout your child's career, we're going to reiterate and reiterate and reiterate all of this information, all right? So I just want to quickly go into a couple of things. So what can you expect at Glen Cove High School? All right, so before I go into the slides, like I said, we like to have a lot of fun here. We conduct ourselves like a family. But I got to say this, you know, our students here, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Glen Cove High School graduate, our students are awesome, all right? They are awesome. You will see a number of the things, and just a few that we picked out of what they have done, what they continue to do here to make us extremely proud, all right? So what can you expect? All right, so we spoke about family. So if you take a look here, AP School Honor Roll for this year, 2024, what does this simply mean? This means that we are now providing and giving more students opportunities to participate in AP level courses. So a number of the coordinators here spoke to you about what is an AP level course. It's a collegiate course where students can actually take here in high school. Here's a good thing for parents. It saves you money in college, all right? So that's important. All right, Ms. Padilla spoke about DECA. A lot of our students are doing very well. In fact, if you see the picture here to the left, a lot of our students ended up going to the DECA regionals last year. One of our students actually ended up going all the way to California to kind of represent Glen Cove High School and compete against students across the nation. All right, that's here at Glen Cove High School. Again, last week we had our AP Scholars in top 10. We recognized them at a Board of Education meeting. I'm proud to say of our top 10 graduates, the grade point averages were 106 to 104. Now you may say, how does one end up with a GPA of 106 or 104? Because it's a weighted average. So we encourage you, obviously, students to take AP level courses because it's a weighted average as well as honors courses, okay? We also offer over 20 clubs for students. So if you take a look at this, and again, all of this will be shared with you, but we offer over 20, I think at this point about 23 to be exact, clubs for students who have just different interests. All right. We always encourage the fact that sometimes students will come to us and say, listen, Mr. Hudson, Ms. Padilla, we'd like to start this club. So if there's enough students who are interested and there's an advisor, we are always open to start other clubs just to let students kind of get to a point where they generate interest here with different clubs. All right. So these are just some pictures, some funny pictures. Actually, Cameron, you know I like picking on you. So Cameron is right here, all right? So I'm gonna put Cameron, this is a picture of Cameron along with our trial and debate group, all right? What's that? And Sophia, all right? So here's the beautiful thing. I'm from Glen Cove, so I can say this. A lot of times Glen Covians, we don't go past Northern Boulevard, right? All right, that's what they say. That's what my wife said to me when she first moved here. Glen Cove people tend to live here, stay here. But here's the beautiful thing. We have 2 students, alumni, who've come back here with their siblings. All right, I think that speaks volumes of what we're doing here at this high school, so we appreciate both of you being here. All right. Let's see. So again, a lot of fun, school spirit. You'll see a lot of school spirit, pajama day, pep rally, homecoming spirit week is huge here. Pep rally again, what was perfect this year, we had beautiful weather. We were able to have pep rally outdoors. So for some of you, did anyone here graduate from Glen Cove High School? Okay, right? So our pep rallies were typically indoors, right in the gym, all right? But we've kind of gotten to a point where now we have our pep rally outdoors. I think it's much better, all right? And kids are not kind of closed in that gym area. So again, beautiful thing here. I had to put a little plug here. For those, I was a dean in Baldwin High School, all right? Our football team, I think Jake's in the back right there. Jake is helping us out. He's a part of the TV production program. All right, we were victorious against Baldwin Senior High School. I think I lost a couple of friends in the Baldwin area, all right? But guess what? You know, as we say here, you know, go Big Red. So, athletically, you had a chance to hear from Ms. Rizzo. We continue to shine in our athletics. So pictured here on the left, you have a number of students who received all county, all conference honors in football. We actually now expanded our program. We started with a girls swim team. Now, kudos to Ms. Rizzo, we have a boys swim team. We have this young man's name is Devin Gonzalez. Devin Gonzalez just broke the all-time rushing record here at Glen Cove High School with 1,400 yards. We also just found out that he made all-state, all right, along with two other students, Jaden Johnson and Derek Brown, okay? All right. We also had a young man. Well, we'll start with Paulina first. Paulina is here. She was ranked as one of the top 100 female soccer players here on Long Island. All right, and last but not least, this young man here, all right, as you pulled into here, if you go, you may have looked on the display board, this young man, all right, didn't make all county, all state. This young man is an all-American, all right, his name is Henry Hernandez, all right, we have a phenomenal soccer team, a phenomenal coach, all right, so we just continue and continue to always strive for excellence and get better and better, all right. So again, how many of you attended Trick or Treat Street? All right. So it's an awesome way of actually our students getting involved, especially with some of the younger students. Our kids dress up the classrooms. They have a great time. So these are just some activities that we do to kind of have fun, all right, while stressing the fact that we want our students to perform well academically. This picture here, all right, so even the adults, we dress up. We dress up in Halloween costumes. All right, the kids, when they first see us, they're like, wow, adults do things like this? Yes, we do. We love the fact that they see us getting involved. It just kind of continues to create a better bond with them so that they realize we're human and we don't, you know, we don't live here. Like even with us and the coordinators, if they see us out in the neighborhood or at stores, they look at us like, don't you live at the high, like what? You're not a regular person. We're regular people, all right? But this is something where we did. I had I was actually Shrek, all right? So the running joke was this, is that I'm a foodie, so I love to eat. Beautiful thing about the Shrek item outfit is that it had a built-in belly, so it kind of I was able to walk around and, you know, but it went really well. We had a number of people, Miss Padilla's in there as well. Miss Padilla, which one were you, Miss Padilla? Were you trying to hide in that mask there? Okay, so she's trying to hide. This is Miss Padilla, all right? That's Miss Padilla. She's trying to hide. All right. Like again, I love to throw you and embarrass you. All right. So we also have another individual who's here. She's actually right there. Right there, right, Miss Diaz, sitting to my left, way in the back, trying to hide. So Miss Diaz is one of. So her son, little shout out to her son, Londell Wheeler, was one of the first All-Americans here in Glen Cove history through soccer. All right, he's doing really well. He's at LIU Post. He's on a scholarship. He's doing really well. But kudos to you as well. But that's Ms. Diaz, who also works here in our main offices and doing a phenomenal job for us. All right, so I'm very competitive, so I really don't want to show this to you, all right, because we compete. We actually compete as departments. All right, I'm competitive. All right, we wanted to win, but we lost. All right, so Ms. Nadell will win next year. So this was the first place prize for the adults. They did a great job. This is the art, dance, music, and TV department. Did a phenomenal job. They even had a bit of a skit regards to the Addams family. All right, but this is what we do here. All right, we try to have fun. We encourage our students to do well. But this was phenomenal. Mr. Nadell, we will challenge you next year. Okay, but great job. All right. Last, well, with Halloween. So just some pictures, like I said earlier in the presentation. Pictures speak to exactly what we're doing here. All right, these are students involved, all right, and staff during Halloween. No issues. Kids just having fun. Instruction is still going on. You can walk, it's the weirdest thing. You walk into, actually I have one of your teachers that is able to do that in the English department. You walk by, the kids are on all kinds of outfits. There's still instruction going on, right? Because they're mature enough to understand we're gonna have fun, but we need to still have instruction going on, all right? Let's see. Mr. Nadell spoke to this. Our program, our theater arts program is on the up and coming. All right, they have done a phenomenal job. All right, they continue to do that. Our music department, phenomenal. All right, I will rank our music department among the best in the country. Why do I say that? Because our students have performed in front of the Pope. Our students have performed at Carnegie Hall. Our students have performed in front of the president. All right, so our music department is phenomenal. I will say, even here, Miss Curtis spoke about this picture here. These are students right here who volunteered through Northwell. All right, they celebrated them, and the great thing about these students, that there was nothing but positive things said about our students. And again, I like to win. So when it came down to the scholarship, among other school districts, what I won't mention, there were 2 scholarships, and the 2 winners of the scholarships were right here from Glen Cove High School. All right, so these kids did a phenomenal job. Again, we like to celebrate success. This is a young man by the name of Chase Grennan. So no, we do not have a NASCAR team here, all right? However, this is what our students are about. They have different talents. Chase has actually won the NASCAR 3000 in Islip. All right, so I actually had a chance to go watch him race. Phenomenal. All right, most humble young man that you'll meet. You will not believe the things that this young man does on the weekends. All right. Last but not least, a young man by the name of Aiden Van Omeren, just last weekend, went upstate. All right, to the NYSTIA conference. So they were among 900 students. He was one of 4 chosen to perform right here from Glen Cove High School. Okay. Glen Cove High School goes international. So, Junk Couture, all right. A few years before, these students actually were finalists where they traveled from here to Abu Dhabi and participated in this event. This year, they'll be going to Dublin, Ireland to compete. Our select chorale is heading to London to perform. 2 years ago, we had a German cultural exchange program through the social studies program with Ms. Poulos. And last but not least, actually tomorrow, I am headed to Spain. I have a 7 p.m. flight to go on a training to prepare us, because we're gonna have over 70 students over the spring break now go to Spain, all right? Last but not least, this is a program called Friday and Saturday Night Lights. All right, this is a program where students can now come in every so often, every couple of months, just to kind of, again, blow off some steam. They can come and participate and play games, participate and play board games. We try to give them board games so that they can put the phone down and actually play Connect Four or checkers or things like that. But this is an event that the students enjoy. We also celebrate our alumni because we want to show that, again, we talked about the bubble. Our job is to get them to go, not just graduate, to go out and be successful. So, for example, you can see I like to brag about our kids, right? So look, So we have this young man's name is Sam Israel. If you tune in to Channel 6 News in Albany, Sam Israel he works with that channel there. He's actually seen here interviewing Dante Vincenzo, who used to be a New York Knicks, so he's doing great things in Albany. This young man's name is Danny Casal, who got his start right here at Glen Cove High School under the leadership of Mr. Barry. All right, Danny Casal is a famous YouTuber, believe it or not. All right, he has 4.4 million followers. All right, got his start right here from Glen Cove High School. This young lady here, all right, his name is Trinity Hudson. All right, she happens to be my daughter. I love her most of the time. No, she's a good kid. She's a good kid. She is actually right now in Ireland playing professional basketball. She's doing really well. Where did she get her start? Right here in Glen Cove High School. Let's see. This young lady, does anyone know who that is? Who is that? Shy Roberts. Shy Roberts performed right here at Glen Cove High School. All right, so Shy Roberts, if you don't know, took second in the show The Voice, competed against national, international. All right, she took second. So much so that we attended an event in Nassau County Executive Building that was they named a particular day Shy Roberts Day. Where did Shy start? Here at Glen Cove High School. All right. So, enough bragging about what we're, our students and our coordinators. I have a young man who's here. I don't know how to describe him. I mean, he's just, there's just certain people that, just always stand out. This young man, all right, is a historian. He's an actor. He's a singer, scholar, all right? So you've heard a lot from a lot of adults, but we wanted this year to give you an opportunity to hear from, I call him Senator Michael Renga, all right, because my belief is one day he will be, all right? But we're gonna hear words. Let's give a round of applause for Michael Renga, all right, who's gonna speak to us, you as well.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson, for that wonderful introduction. Again, my name is Michael Anthony Renga, and I'm a junior this year. I wish to extend a warm welcome to our incoming freshmen, parents, and students. To start off, just take a deep breath. This is more for the parents than the kids. You're not just moving to a new school, you're moving into a community. The best part of living here is that you really and truly get to be a part of something greater and bigger than yourself. To make a community work, you need individuals from all walks of life to make it thrive. This is where we need you the most, and it is up to you to make the right choices that will help you through the next 4 years. You are no longer a little kid where your parents and teachers tell you exactly what to do. In high school, you are given a great deal more autonomy to choose your path, whatever that may be. I could stand up here before you and talk about how great Glen Cove High School is, but I'm not going to do that. I want to talk to you about why Glen Cove High School is such an amazing place. Personally, I believe it has to do with all the phenomenal opportunities that Glen Cove High School has to offer. School doesn't really end at 2:08. For me and a great many other students, this is where the other part of our lives begin. If you play a sport, play. If you like to sing in the shower, sing, sign up for our theater club, and try out for the spring musical. You plan on becoming a doctor or nurse, we have a pre-med club. Are you a writer, a photographer? The nightly news and the yearbook, they need you. Don't just be a member of the freshman class. Sign up for the freshman club and work with your fellow classmates for events such as homecoming, battle of the classes, and fundraising. Yes, we even have a ski club. Are you interested in traveling? I just returned from a weekend-long theater conference in the Catskills where I met a lot of new people from other schools and other communities that love theater as much as I do. Maskers was able to attend this event due to the dedication of our Fine and Performing Arts Coordinator, Mr. Nadell. This coming spring, I'm going with our fearless leader, Mr. Hudson, and a group of 70 other Glen Cove High School students to Spain on a learning adventure. 5 weeks after that, I'm going to England with our highly regarded select chorale under the direction of Mr. Ed Norris to be the choir in residence at an international singing festival. Then, to finish off my junior year in June, I've been sponsored by the American Legion to attend Boys State, which is a week-long program that immerses high school youth in citizenship and learning and leadership training. That all came out due to our fantastic social studies coordinator, Ms. Poulos, telling me about an oratorical contest that she encouraged me to enter last year as a sophomore. Coming up to the high school and being able to pick your electives is like going to a buffet. You don't have to take an entire helping of something that you're unsure of, but you can try something new. When planning your schedule with your guidance counselor, be sure to ask what electives are open for freshmen. There's so many classes to select from. Interested in the arts? Go take a pottery and fashion design class. Like to dance? Our new dance teacher, Miss Aliota, offers hip-hop and movement classes. Feel free to enroll in marine biology, astronomy, and forensics. You have an idea for a business that you may want to open one day? We have business and math electives you can take. Instead of taking regular gym, sign up for personal wellness or weight training. Our media communications department is spectacular. Work with Mr. Barry and Ms. Lasser in television production and broadcast journalism. I could go on and on. Mr. Hudson's probably going to get a large hook and pull me off the stage. I'm just going to leave you with this. The next 4 years are what you make of them. Take opportunities that are offered and ask questions for your advisors, administrators, teachers, coaches, and fellow students. We are all here to help and support each other. Not only get involved, but be involved. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to welcoming the class of 2029. Thank you.
So Ranga, thank you for that. We appreciate that. So we're gonna conclude at this point, all right? If you have any questions, feel free to come down and ask those questions. I want to end with this. This is kind of what we kind of adopted. So students here, a lot of times we make announcements, and our mantra is this: in order to have an extraordinary life, you must be willing to do extraordinary things. All right? That's what we want and encourage our students to do here at Glen Cove High School. So it's been a pleasure, all right? But feel free, if you want, please stop down if you have any questions. If not, enjoy your evening, and please get home safe.